Welcome back, guys. SRT Dad. And today's the day, guys. We're finally gonna get rid of this spoiler, install a Hellcat spoiler, and then install a wicker bill. And I'm gonna take you guys step by step. Let's go. All right, guys. So first, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna pop the trunk here. We have a screw here, and then I don't know if you guys can see the screw in here, but there's another one in here, and we're gonna take both of them out on both sides to get the original spoiler off. So we're gonna go ahead and do that first. All right, guys, so I got these first two bolts out. They look like this. First one's obviously easy to get out because it's right here. This one's kind of in a hole here, so what I did, I got a ratchet here, 11 millimeter, got it there, took it out, unscrewed it. When I unscrewed it, I had to do it with one finger on the bottom and then one finger up here. My left hand was on top, left finger on the bottom. And I kind of took them out and I caught it. Not caught it, but I took it out and held on to it and pulled it out. You don't want to drop it in there because it's going to make some noise and you're going to have to get like a magnet or something to get it out. Unfortunately, that didn't happen to me. I'm going to do it on the other side now. I already got this first one out here. And now I got to get this one out. So just so I can show you guys, I'll show you guys getting this top one out real quick. All right. Alright, so like I said, I got that bottom one out, so now I'm gonna loosen up this top one. Just kind of loosen it up. When I get it loose, kind of just get up in here, start unscrewing it. And like I said, you want to catch, you don't want to let it fall. I'm not saying necessarily catch it, but you want to kind of get a good hold of it. Spin it out with your finger. It's almost out. And it fell. Well, that was a big fail. All right, guys. Now I get the spoiler off. Should just come right off here on both sides. And there it is. Woo, dirty. Oh, Lord. That shit looks naked. All right, guys. So we'll just try to clean this off. Spray some of my detailing spray on here. You can already see there's some chipped paint on here, so that kind of sucks. Might have to get some little, just touch-up paint for these little chip paint spots here up front, because the spoiler's gonna go down here, the new one. But this is going to be exposed, this hole in these chips, so I'm going to have to get that fixed. See, the car is really dirty, so just getting some detail spray on here. So like I said, guys, there's two holes. I'm hoping I get to use these, but I know for sure I'm not going to get to use these front ones here. And I did buy some spoiler hole fillers, whatever you want to call them. They're rubber, and I bought a bunch that come in a bunch of different sizes. Hopefully one of them fits these. As you can see, guys, she looks a lot different without that spoiler back there. Wow. What do you guys think about the look? Should I just leave it like this? I'm just playing, guys. All right, it's time to get this Hellcat spoiler on. All right, guys, so there's the holes I was telling you guys about. You can see the paint chips on here. So I laid the spoiler on here, guys, and unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to use either of these holes. So I'm gonna have to fill them, obviously, right? Because you don't want water leaking through when I wash the car when it rains. So I got this 170 piece rubber kit here. And hopefully, like I said, I find one that fits these holes. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. All right guys, so I managed to fill these holes here. Found the right size that fit perfectly. So here's a kit here. It's opened up, right? So I use these right here, this size. And you see they kind of have a little groove in there. You just shove them through. You could pry them in with your fingers if you have strong fingers. You can see mine are all jacked up. And it was this size. So here's all the sizes, right? So it was this size here, the M9.53. There's 40 pieces of them. I only need 4, obviously. Yeah, and I bought all these extra ones. That's how the kit came. It's on Amazon. I'll throw the link on the description for it. But guys, if you have a spoiler already on your Charger 06 to 010, just know that you're gonna have to drill 3 new holes and fill your old ones, and you're gonna possibly have paint damage that you're gonna have to fix. So if you really want to do this, those are the sacrifices you're gonna have to make. All right, let's get the spoiler on. So there's the spoilers on. All right, it's not screwed in yet, but that's what it looks like. Now, I don't know if I should have got it paint matched before I decided to put it on. I've seen some that have it, looks good, but I mean the wicker bill's gonna go on over it and it's black, so I just didn't see the whole point. What do you guys think? Was I wrong? Was I right? In your opinion? There it is. Looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, at this point I still feel like my old spoiler looked better, but once the wicker bill is on, obviously my opinion may swing the other way. All right guys, so like I said, there's 3 new holes. You can see the one there, right? And then there's one in the middle, and then there's one on the very other end on this same side here. So I'm going to drill 3 new holes in the trunk and get it on. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, so now to drill the holes onto the trunk, like I said, it has 3 holes, right? It comes with this strip of tape, all right? It's just one-sided tape. So what you gotta do, you have to use this tool here. It has a little thing to make a hole. I poked a hole in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape this onto here, right on the hole. And then when I put it on the trunk, I'm gonna tape the ends of this to the trunk itself, and then remove the spoiler, and that's gonna tell me exactly where to drill at. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, so you see the strips of the tape. And like I said, you're just gonna poke a hole right through here, and I'll leave a mark for all 3. So I'm gonna do it on all 3, and then I'll put it on the trunk. All right, guys, so it's on here, right? I'm gonna position it. I don't know how I want to position, but I'm gonna position the spoiler to the position I want it in, and I'm gonna tape it down. I'm gonna tape it down, and I'm gonna tape these strips down to the trunk. And then when I remove the spoiler, that's gonna tell me exactly where I need to drill the holes at. And then I'll screw it in from the bottom, all right? All right, let's go ahead and tape it down. All right, so you guys see I taped it down right on both sides of those strips that I taped on the spoiler. So I'm just gonna take the spoiler off, and those 3 holes I marked should be right above the trunk and ready to drill in. Guys, I drilled my holes. Drilled them pretty good in there, got them all the way through. So they're all 20 inches apart, going at a kind of like a V angle, as you see. Yeah, like I said, I put that tape on the trunk, and then I took it off and had to make it stay, and then I just went through those holes that I punched through. So let's pop the trunk. Let's see if it went through on the inside. Let's see. See the hole there? There's a hole. There's that hole, and then there's a hole in the middle. So hopefully it goes on good. Here we go. All right, guys, here we go again. The hole in the middle. I had to drill on the inside at least these holes to make. I made them a 1/2 inch, just on the inside, not the outside, because the screws it came with is gonna have to fit through to get into the original hole on the outside there. There's the other side, 1/2 inch hole. All right, so let's try to get the spoiler unscrewed on. All right, guys, I got the spoiler on. What do you guys think? Now I did notice there was some just like little, I don't know if it's damaged or just they didn't paint it right or whatever. It's matte, you know what I mean? It's not painted, so I could just touch it up myself with any sort of black markup paint or whatever. There it is, guys. What do you guys think? Now, I don't know if I'm gonna have time today to put the wicker bill on, but there's the Hellcat spoiler. I think it looks really good now. Now that I have it on, I like it better than the other one. Now there's the little rubber things I put here. I'm gonna just buy some touch-up paint myself and just try to touch these spots up, and then I'll probably clay bar this area first and then touch it up. But it's on the inside. It's really hard to tell, obviously, if you know, looking outside in. But I think it looks amazing, guys. There it is right there. Wow. All right, there's the screws right there, guys. There's the other one, and then there's this one. You can see these. I had to, like I said, I had to drill this hole here huge to get these to fit in. You see, I had to go on that angle too. It was hard, I'm not gonna lie. So hard, you know, that I couldn't even get it on video because it took me a while. Now I got these little rubber guards here. I'm gonna put it over each individual one, and on these two big holes, I'm gonna use the those rubber hole sealers to put on and see if I can fit some on here so there's no potential of any water leaks at all. So let's get these on. All right, guys. So I used the M12.07 here, and they fit in these holes there. See that? Shove them through, pry them with my fingers. There they are. And then on that middle one, I just used the rubber guard that they came with for this one because obviously I didn't make a hole through this part here. It was just that one. There you go. So hopefully, maybe I'll give my car a test car wash and see if anything leaks through at all. All right, guys. So we got the spoiler on. Now it's wicker bill time. So basically what I'm gonna do, I get this wicker bill, tape it on here, and then we're gonna drill some holes. Let's get it done. All right, so there it is taped on, guys. So now I just have to drill holes in each spot here. So what I did, I just measured from here to the tip of the wing, 5.5 inches on both sides to make sure that I had it right. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and drill the holes. All right, guys, so I got the rev nuts in. I drilled holes, pushed the rev nuts in, and now it's time to put the wicker bill on, see if I got the holes right, hopefully. All right, guys, so I'm all done. Here's the finished product. So once again, in order to do this, guys, if you already have a spoiler, you're gonna have to sacrifice a hole here. And over there, gonna have to do something about this here, see if I can clay bar these marks off, and then get some, just a bottle of Torrid Red paint to just dab on here. And I don't know how, guys, but I somehow chipped the spoiler. I'm gonna have to get some black little paint to dab on here too. Luckily, this is easier to, you know, blend, but the red's gonna be kind of hard. But that's the sacrifices, guys, to put the spoiler on. But I had a lot of recommendations to put it on from you guys. And like I said, I caved. And you know what? I really like it. It looks really good. It looks a lot meaner now. All right, guys. Well, you know what to do. Like, comment, and if you really enjoy the content, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.